The year of return has been a spectacular PR success. Nobody disputes that. Compared to, say, the Joseph project, the number of positive mentions, goodwill has been much more. So that's very positive. The challenge that has arisen is that, like every good PR campaign or advertising campaign, it must be followed by sales. So when the government announced that $1.9 billion extra had been made, I feel that's the way it was communicated, I was obviously puzzled because that would suggest tremendous sales success. And I was puzzled only because of the historical data I knew, not because we don't deserve it. So we looked into the figures and didn't seem to add up. So I started to publicize this view that it cannot be the case that $1.9 billion extra money has been generated as a result of the year of return. I made publications, these were carried by the media, nobody bothered to respond. This morning, luckily for us, the head of the Ghana Tourism Authority has gone on record making it very clear that the $1.9 billion is not extra revenue generated as a result of the year of return. This is actually the projected amount of revenue gained so far. Yeah.
Looking at how we prepared for it, would you say we did investments or we invested into the right places to prepare for this initiative?
No, and that is actually the issue. So having had great PR, great advertising, people are now saying that we have top of the mind awareness. The question is that what are we actually selling? And the problem we have is that our heritage tourism sites are in disarray. We had about 64 forts and castles built sometime between 1482 to 1780. Of those, a half are already in utter ruin. Another half of the remaining 34 or so, another half is not really viable for tourism. Remember that all of these sites are UNESCO World Heritage Sites. That means that we have more UNESCO World Heritage Sites, particularly if you add the sites in Kumasi, more than France, one of the world's largest tourism earners, earning almost $80 billion from tourism every year, more than our GDP. So if we have these powerful assets, why are we investing only about $230,000 a year into maintaining these assets? That is a critical point. Because you cannot go and advertise something which is not fundamentally being improved upon. And that is our argument.
Moving forward, finally, government wants to look beyond the year of return, hoping to make it a decade of return. What can we do differently?
First, we need to focus on balancing the advertising with other critical product development and improvement activities. So when the year of return secretariat, which is actually the Ghana Tourism Authority, was asked how much they've spent, they said they've spent only $1 million. The truth is that that $1 million is more than twice their total operating budget in a normal year. So that means, therefore, is that they prioritize advertising by 2x what they should be spending on operations. We also know for a fact that they are not accounting for money spent by the Office of Diaspora Affairs, money spent by the president on his travels to promote the year of return. And we know for a fact that when it comes to critical things like training our tourist operators, training the people that work in the tourism sector, increasing skills, we're not investing there. How do we know that? We have one major flagship tourism training school. For many years, it was completely shut down. They couldn't fund it enough for it to be operational. That's how bad it is. In 2018, they said they're going to revive it and the rest of it. We are yet to follow up and see where things are now with Hot Cats. But how can you have a country that is keen on attracting tourists' arrivals if it's not investing in the core of its products, like improving skills in the tourism sector, like improving heritage sites and the likes? That is why it is not surprising that Ghana does not rank among the top 10 destinations in Africa. And that Ghana is not in the top 10 most competitive tourism destinations in Africa, according to the World Economic Forum. That's a problem. In the Visa OpenX Index, Togo and Benin outperform us. This is not allowed. We are in the bottom 10th. These are critical issues that must improve in the next year. We can't wait for a decade. The next year must be the year of correcting the mistakes that have prevented the year of return from translating PR success into sales success, or at the very least, could hobble it from becoming so.